Countryfile live, and here is my video of the day. So far seen sheep, talk about weather, lots of food, and what else I've seen? This and that, carving with chainsaws. But now I'm going to go and look at some farm machinery and some big tractors and heavy equipment. Might even eat chips. See you in a bit.
So as you can see, the guys are cracking on. This is Johnny and Chris from Treevolution. Johnny and Chris, professional tree surgeons, who also offer chainsaw and arboricultural training. Don't forget, in about 45 minutes time when the guys are done, there will be a charity auction as we start the bidding for the two pieces that they are creating, and the charity we're supporting is the Big May Foundation. We support a range of charities which include the Prostate Project, Young Carers, Charity for Disability. Just to let you know, the auction is a cash-only auction. You need to have boot space in your car or vehicle big enough to take the car in home. But we will assist you to your car if you are successful with your bid today. The pieces to raise money for our chosen charity, which is the Lisa May Foundation, who support a range of charities which include the Prostate Project, Young Carers and Charity for Disability. This is going to be a cash-only auction, and you need to have enough space in your boot of your vehicle to take it home today. But we will help you get it to your vehicles once the auction's done. Other things happening here on our Steel Arena for the rest of the day is Steel celebrates its 90th anniversary this year. We have a product demo area and the IMO demonstration lawn. So you can speak to the guys about things like chainsaw maintenance and our new steel cordless range. We've also got the Viking IMO. which is the robotic lawnmower, completely independent. We have our merchandise shop with massive show-only discounts, where we've got limited edition Steel merchandise. We have the rugby tackle game. Steel are proud sponsors of the Leicester Tigers Rugby Union. And you can show off your rugby tackling prowess and get your name potentially on our Top Gear style leaderboard. After the guys from Treevolution have finished, at 11 AM, we have the horticultural experts on stage. Jane Moore, who's a former Chelsea Flower Show winner, and she'll be giving an expert talk and taking any of you gardens. Yes, one of our own crew here. £50. 60 anywhere? 60, yes, thank you. 70 anyone? 70, thank you. 70, 80 pounds anywhere? 80? Thanks, Paul. 90 quid? Yeah, thanks. 90 pounds. Did we go to 100? 100 here, 110, Paul, thanks. 110. 120? 120. Do we have 120 anywhere? Yeah, thank you, sir. Cuts out this fantastic bench, the Bear Bench. And as I say, the range of charities that the Lisa May Foundation supports, that charity will get, or those charities will get all its money from us and from Paul's kind donation.
Of the North Atlantic. Now, how that affects us is still very unclear. Obviously, if you have winds blowing over that area of cold water in the Atlantic, that will have a cooling effect on us. And, you know, we've had westerly winds predominantly through this summer, and it's had a cooling effect. But having said all that, if you look at our summer so far, the average temperature has been above normal. So you have to put all these factors in context. A slowing of that North Atlantic circulation will have a cooling effect, but to what extent it's being overridden by the general warming is another matter. It's a key area of research, and again, you know, we are to some extent kept artificially warm, bathed by the relatively mild North Atlantic waters. If that's going to change, that will have an effect on our climate.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to run over slightly because I'm in charge and we can, but we can't run over very much because John has to be somewhere else. So if you want to ask a question, can you stick your hand up in the air now so that I can plan ahead? No, we're coming to you next, sir. Anybody else wants to ask a question, just indicate now so we can get a microphone. Microphone over here, and your question, sir.
Hello, I'm Steve. I taught geography for 40 years and I did depressions every year, and I got the children to shade in blue for the cold air and red for the warm air, but I never actually thought of naming them. Do you like the fact that they're now named, these different storms? I know it's not a very academic question, but I just thought I was interested to find out what you thought.
Okay, what do you think, first of all?
Oh, I like them, yeah, I like
Good,
them. Yeah.
good.
If I'd been still teaching, I'd have used them every day, definitely.
Good, because it actually was, I don't want to blow my own trumpet, but I wrote a report for the Met Office about 4 years ago, and I recommended that we start naming storms.
That's you?
Yeah.
Wow.
So we've started naming storms. And, if you don't like it, it's my fault. Some people think it's a bit of a gimmick, and it is a bit of a gimmick, but I think it serves a very important purpose in as much as it raises awareness amongst the public, and it helps people to prepare for something which is going to impact on their lives, and I think people like the sense of making something which is abstract, which is meteorology, making it feel more relevant and more human, if you like. And so I think we obviously launched it last year, and I think last year was a good time to launch it because it was such a stormy winter. And I think the general view is that it was a good idea, and people were tweeting about it the whole time, you know, hashtag Clodo or whatever the name of the storm was. So we are going to continue to do that for the next few years. We're going to then have a look at it and see what the view is. But I hope, and I hope you agree, that will be something which is here to stay.
Good question here.
Hi, my name's David. The hole in the ozone layer, is it purely caused by CO2? And I believe it's closing up. Is that right? So if it closes completely, will that put an end to global warming? Please.
Just a nice simple question.
So the answer is no. It's actually, yes, but I think people do get slightly confused about the ozone layer and global warming. The two aren't really related as such. The ozone hole was caused by injection of CFCs, chlorofluorocarbons, and that was from coolant in our refrigerators that were being produced by the billions back in the 60s and 70s and 80s. Because of legislation worldwide, we've stopped producing those coolants, and lo and behold, fantastically, the ozone hole is beginning to close up again. It'll take a few more decades before it finally closes up. But the impact of that is really on how much UV reaches us, and therefore, unfortunately, how many skin cancers occur. So the good news is, with the closing ozone hole, we're going to see hopefully, fewer incidences of melanoma. That's not the same as the release of carbon dioxide into the atmosphere, causing a warming planet. So no, the two are not related, so we can't rely on the closing ozone hole to solve our problems with warming.
Thank you there, ladies and gentlemen. I'm really sorry, we will have to leave it because John is going to sprint over to the big barn at 11:15. He and Ellie Harrison will be answering questions over there. Before he goes, there's just one thing. Somebody on my way to this tent this morning, when I said, I'm going to talk to John, they said, you once played on stage with Status Quo. Is that true?
Let's rock.
Is that true?
Yes.
I thought they were winding me up.
No. I have to say, I'm not very cool. I embarrassed my son about this, but my favourite rock band has always been Status Quo. And a few years back, they happened to be in the same building that I was in when I was doing the weather, and they walked past the window, and I chased them up to the green room, and I said to Francis Rossi, Francis, I'd love to have a little jam with you. And he told me in no uncertain terms to beat off. And I thought no more about it. But then the next day, the manager of Quo contacted me and said, do you know what? We'd really love to have a jam with you at Wembley. They were playing at Wembley next week. So I turned up with my guitar, and there we are. I was on stage, hello Wembley. I mean, that was the best day of my life. You can keep your 1976, honestly. Yeah, a real privilege.
I don't know if you heard that. Someone said some say it was their worst concert.
Or their best.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for weatherman and rock god John Hammond. John is going to run across to the big barn.
Here and me, farthest away from you, because I'm in the dust, we have Andy, the other store. Oh, it really is dusty as well. We have Andy. Andy's on a 1961 Massey Ferguson 35, another 3-cylinder diesel Churches. Andy purchased from Wantage, and he's driving a mid-60s Ruffler, which basically, as I say, just fluffs up the hay or the straw and miles. To enable them to come along and tie the straw. A little bit of history without the side in old time when everyone was a little bit more spiritual. So in olden times, when the corn was cut by side, it was believed that the corn spirit retracted from the oncoming reapers. The spirit took refuge in the last few remaining ears of the corn standing. So after the side had gone along and cut all the corn, the last few stalks of corn would be collected by hand and fashioned into corn dollies. In this last few ears of corn, together with its incumbent corn spirit, a receptacle which the corn spirit would rest during the cold winter months. In the spring, the corn dolly with its corn spirits would be returned back to the field for the new planting. And by giving the corn spirit a new home during the winter months, it was hoped to ensure the forthcoming crop would be a bounteous one. So that's the origination of corn dollies. So the second baler's coming into production now. This is the PTO1, and it was being driven by Peter, but now it's driven by Andy. Andy's on a Massey Ferguson 135. That means you're disqualified if you're horse riding. But as I say, Andy's on the next baler. And this baler is a Massey Ferguson 20 baler. This is the PTO powered one. And so Andy's driving in the Massey Ferguson 135.